All right. Evening, everybody. We are now live. Thanks for tuning in on Sunday. Just want to say hello to everybody. This is the 4th episode, so we've been going on for a month now. It's been going really, really well. I'm now closing in on 400 or 350 subscribers over on YouTube, so thank you for everybody's support on that. Have an announcement for my next live event. It'll probably be here next week. Trying to get out to Jack Casino again at the end of the month, probably Sunday or Monday, that 28th, 29th. So I'll have that out. But always like to start the show off with a couple of updates from Vegas. That way, as you guys tune in every week, if anyone is traveling that following week, they'll kind of know about some new stuff that's going on. So the first one is, if you do like going downtown, I do. The Plaza, that lounge, the Sand Dollar, is closing. So it should be closed here next couple of weeks. They said they may close a little early, so if you get there this week and it's closed, sorry. Was kind of a cool little place if you do remember going through there, but they are closing. Next one is, if you are traveling through the airport, especially Southwest, and you do have a Chase Sapphire Reserve card, they did just open up the Chase Sapphire Reserve Lounge, 2 stories. Looks really nice. I've seen some of the photos and renderings of it. So it's about 8,000 square feet. So in comparison, I believe the Capital One Lounge is around 3,800, 4,000 square feet. So a little double it. So that's kind of a cool thing if you are flying in or leaving via Southwest. It's over in that area of the airport. If you're not flying in that way, you'll have to take a tram or 2 over. But again, I usually fly Southwest, so it'll be kind of a cool thing. I might check it out when I am there next. Next one is, if you guys want a good hamburger, the Viral Place, With Love Always. I believe they are in Summerlin. But they just opened up a new spot, so they are going to be open now here in the next couple of days over at Red Rock Casino. So definitely closer to the Strip. So I would urge everybody to please check that out. Their fries and their burgers are amazing. So they are really, really good. I would also expect a very, very, very long line. So final update is I'm kind of excited about, because I had a lot of fun when I was last in Vegas downtown. Got to play a couple of rounds of bingo at Plaza. Would like to do it again. Don't know if I'm going to be staying downtown again when I go back in the summer, fall of this coming year. But they are opening up a bingo hall on the Strip, and it's going to be over at Circus. So they are opening it up. You can do the same digital style as you do, or I think it's a $30, $35 fee. You can play it with the actual ink blotters. So you can play Plaza, or you can play bingo at or on the Strip over at Circus. This is the first time they've had bingo open on the Strip since, if you remember way back in the day, Riviera used to have it. That was actually the first place I've ever stayed at on the Strip, was the Riviera. And sadly, as we all know, that closed. You can still see the girls' statues. They moved them over to Circa. It's up there by their club at the top. It's escaping me now. Final update for Vegas, or even gambling in general, is I want to make sure everyone is aware. The new Big Beautiful Bill goes into effect in January. So that means, A, you can only claim 90% of your losses for 2026 into 2027. This year, you can still claim 100% of your losses. Yay me. But the other update is the hand pay threshold has been upped to $2,000. Now, it may take a while for them to implement throughout the system. So you may still have to wait to get a hand pay in January. If it is over the $11.99 threshold. However, you will not be getting a W-2G for that. So some casinos will be ready to basically, you get a ticket in, ticket out, Tito, for the money up to $2,000 on a hit. So be patient. I know some casinos are ready. I believe all of MGM is pretty much ready to go. Caesars, I've heard spotty information from some other casino hosts over there. They think they're ready, but just be cautious with that. We got some people joining in. Oh, I love Plaza. Absolutely agree. Effing up. Love Plaza. They are, however, if you do like filming there, they actually have started cracking down on filming. So unless you get prior permission to film there, they do ask you to stop. A buddy of mine was out there filming, and they actually stopped him from filming. He's a much bigger channel than I am. So I was kind of shocked by that, but that's something to think about. Hey, Amy, how are you? She's doing a great job on her TikTok as well. Effing up, I can't say enough about them as well. They have some amazing content, so please check them out. But Annie's going to be doing some stuff with some legislative work, which I think is really, really good for people who do have problems gambling. I think it's always something that even as a content creator who does basically gambling has to realize that not everyone can do it responsibly. So I think it's a good thing to be able to advocate for other people so that you protect them as well. Wanted to sort of jump in. Again, thank you for everybody's help. I am at 330 subscribers on YouTube. So not a huge amount, but I just launched the channel about 8 months ago. So I think it's a pretty good start. However, I did this channel basically because I don't see a lot of other channels doing your general, average, regular Joe gambling. It's usually those $5, $10, $20, $30 hits because, again, I do it too. If you're watching YouTube and you want to see a game, you get more excitement out of watching someone win $10,000 than you do someone winning $100. But I wanted to do something different. I wanted to sort of post good hits, bad hits, and let people see that you can get a really good hit off of just betting the low amount. So I was actually filming this morning over at, I'm just looking at my phone to pull it up, to film over at the casino. Had a little bit of free play. Jumped on that new Buffalo's got the 3 meters and hit the bonus. Of course, won damn near nothing, but interesting comment came in that sort of made me kind of realize again why I'm doing this channel. So the comment is, and I will try to, I can't really screen share it too much, but what it basically says is, are you casino videoing? I don't know why you call it videoing. $1.50 spins for people on here that are spending $500 to $1,000 a spin. Nobody gives a shit about a 1 cent denom. So that made me sort of realize that what I'm doing here is, I think, really, really important. I think people need to see that you don't need to spend $100, $500 a spin to be entertaining. You don't have to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars at the casino to have fun. Again, I was there. I took $100. I lost 50, but I was there for over 2 hours trying out some new games. Ended up having a lot of fun. So I think this kind of reiterates why I do these things and what my channel is about. Again, I want to make sure that, yes, I want to be entertaining. Yes, I want people to follow and hear what I'm saying. But I don't want to bet outside of what I would normally do, even if I could and I can afford to, because I don't want to sort of take away from the overall message of what I want to put out there. I want to be a little different than everybody else. This isn't the first time I've gotten a comment like that. That's why I think it's really important I keep doing these types. Yes, there are times when I'm up, I will do higher bets, $2, $3, $4 a bet. But when it comes down to it, I'm pretty much a low roller. I prefer somewhere between $80 and $1.50 a bet because it lets me control my budget a little bit more. And anybody who's been playing these games long enough knows it really only takes that one amazing bonus to where, yeah, at the end you go, shit, I wish I would bet a little bit higher. Would have been so much more, but it's still a really, really good win. So want to sort of put that out there as I open the show, just to kind of reiterate on the type of comments I'm getting and just sort of, why I do this channel, and hopefully others do watch and they enjoy that type of comment. They're just haters. They are. But no, I mean, I get it. My wife, she agrees because she wants me to keep it low, and I understand. But no, I mean, I get it. I mean, like I said earlier in this cat is, you watch YouTube and you see the different. I mean, I still try to check out the newer slots before they come out because I want to see the actual gameplay. How volatile do they really look? How often are the bonuses coming? But what I pay attention to more is the line hits. If you play the newest Huff and Puff and you get all the toolboxes, with a couple of wolves in between there, it's like a $6 hit. Whereas if you play one of the first versions of it, it's like a $40 or $50 hit. So I want to see line hits. If those line hits are paying back 10 cents or less than your bet back, that's a good indicator for me that that's a game where I need to make sure I have a set budget and I'm playing just that set budget like I did with the Buffalo. I put $25 in. That's all I was going to play on it. I don't care what happens. I don't care if I feel like I'm really, really close to that bonus and that meter is almost full. You have to stop and leave. There's another game. It's an Eagle game. I might post it. I didn't win anything on it, but it has this. It's like, I forget what it's called. It's like a fast mode or exception mode, or forget what it's called. But what it does is it says you've entered this mode, and it says your return to the player is increased, automatically increased. You have more of a likelihood. So those type of games, I would absolutely say, I'll try and find the name of it. I filmed it today. I probably should have taken some show notes on that, but it's one of those games where if I see that, that's a huge red flag. I did play a little more than I wanted to on it just because I wanted to devote $25 to it to see it. But that's one that I would highly recommend you stay away from. It is just another gimmick to get you in there, to keep you spending your money, to keep you spinning. So I highly doubt that it raises your return to player significantly. Again, that's something within the game system that you really can't do. So, I mean, I know you can technically do it with the math of the game, how it works out, but I don't really see it more than just a gimmick. So those are the updates going in. I thought I'd just sort of open it up to everybody in here. Let me know, are there any games that you have played lately that maybe are brand new so that I can try and check them out? Is there anything that, have you had any big wins lately? What are things you're seeing? Is anybody going to Vegas soon? Do you guys have any questions on slots or comps or anything like that? So I'll just open up the floor just to see if anybody has anything they wanted to sort of discuss, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Sorry, having some issues here for a second. Glad Avi's not in here to bust my balls about that. By the way, I did see Avi, or Casino Jackpot 777 is going live 10 p.m. Eastern. I think he's down on the strip at MGM Grand. So I've been begging him to play Cherry's Jubilee. So if you do get a chance to catch his live, please make sure you jump in there and you tell him Sean said play Cherry's Jubilee, damn it. That's one I can't wait to play again. It's one of my favorite low volatility slots of all time. So I can't wait to play that when I get back. Surprised the Plaza's cracking down filming. They were pro filming. So they were. It's really weird. there's a weird vibe going on downtown. Derek Stevens, who owns, of course, Circa, the D, Golden Gate. He just purchased the land under Golden Gate, which was up until a couple of weeks ago was still owned by the original family. So it's one of those kind of like what's on the Strip now. MGM owns the hotel, but the land is leased to the casino by the owners of that land. So there's a weird thing that he got rid of at Golden Gate. They got rid of all of the table games in lieu of electronic table games and more slots. So I get it. But there's a weird vibe going on downtown. They are still making money. The Strip lost money this last month, but downtown made a little bit. And so overall, they are up. But there's this weird kind of thing going on. And I don't know why, but they do not really want filming there. It's so weird because I just really don't get it. I really don't get it at all. I can understand if you're like a D Lucky or one of the other people who go in and say, hey, I've got this experience. You pay me $1,500. I'll take you to the casino. I'll sit you down in front of a machine, and then I'll watch you put your own money in and bet because I know when this machine's going to hit. I can see them cracking down on stuff like that because that's not even remotely true. But I can also see how it is moving towards that. I know MGM kicked off this last summer their smart gambling. So there's actually little pamphlets up by the ATM and the ticket redemptions that talk about how to gamble more responsibly. So really kudos to them for doing that. So I don't know if it's sort of in lieu of that. They're trying to do something similar, or maybe they just had a couple of really bad streamers in there. So that's why I always say if you are going, again, MGM does not require any type of written or prior verbal approval. Just don't film other people. Don't film, the workers. Ask their permission first, especially if you're getting hand paid. Do you mind if I film this? And they may say, that's fine. Just don't film my face. Again, respect them. They, yes, you're at their work, and yes, they're paying you the money you won, but they don't need to be on the internet. They're not there to be on the internet. So maybe they had a couple of people that were just maybe a little too drunk and just kind of ruined it for everybody. But I did see them actually on the live stream. They said you have to stop filming. So the other one downtown is the Downtown Grand. They also, unless you do get prior written approval, they do not allow you to film. They stopped me from filming when I was there, even though I spoke to a host. I don't have a host down there, but I spoke to one who said it would be fine. That's a property that I think should embrace it. They've got a lot of good things going for them, but they're not doing too well, and I think that's kind of one of the things. We're taking our kids to San Diego for Christmas vacation, so if somebody in SoCal wants to babysit, I like where your head's at. Yeah. San Diego. And that's going to be nice this time of year. Ugh. But yeah, so that's really, really weird that they're going to be doing that. But also, sort of a side note here, if you do have Caesars rewards as well, I'm actually this will be my last year sort of chasing Caesars rewards. I'm going to probably switch for a new rewards program, so to speak. Oh, look, everybody. Beach Bum is here. Everyone say hi. She's had an amazing run lately on some machines. I don't know what it is, but it seems like she just sort of sits down on a machine and the major just kind of says, hello. So congrats on a lot of yours. She also hit the grand. That was amazing. Everyone wants to say hello. She hit the grand on a Dragon Link, and that I cannot explain. And that is just impossible to hit. That is fucking amazing. So, but real quick update on Caesars is I am going to be looking for another rewards program. So if anyone does know of a different one that you've had good luck with, whether it's Wynn, Venetian, Fountain Blue, not a fan of Resorts World. Their casino is beautiful. It's super wide open. It's just, I've never had much luck with the vibe there. Not luck with the machines, luck with the vibe. It's always seemed sterile, and drink service is almost non-existent. It just seems weird. I mean, the seats are comfy. They're not as comfy as at Venetian or Palazzo or even Wynn, but the seats are still comfy. Everything is super clean. It just feels, I don't know, surgical there, if that's a good word, like an office, and it's just crazy. But if someone has another one that they have been playing for years and years, and you do get pretty good results for them, please let me know. Familiar Hard Rock, that's where she films at. Definitely interested in anyone's. Yep. So please drop in your suggestions, even if you join this live after we're done, about what you like to play. Hard Rock is one I will have to check out, especially once they're open in Vegas. I only got to play there a couple times when it was the Mirage, but it was still handled by the Sinaloa tribe that is taking that, or had taken that over. Side note, in 2 years, we may be getting the Mirage back. At least there's rumors, because when MGM sold that to them for the Hard Rock, it was under a 3-year lease, the name Mirage. So MGM still holds the title in a couple of years, so they could build a new one or rename it. I've heard things like they're going to rename Mandalay Bay the Mirage. I think it makes sense. Definitely the pool area is great. The rooms are really, really nice, so they could do that. I don't think they will, but I do want to check out the Hard Rock when it opens up in Q3, early Q4 of 2027. So that should be a good one. But back off my rant. The reason why is Caesars has changed their rewards program. I know they do it every year, but I got Diamond Plus just because of my gaming there. And one of the main perks was a lot of other things where, you know, you can get Laura Lounge access in Joliet and a couple others. There's one out in AC where you can actually have free food, free drinks. And you used to get 4 drink vouchers per day when you're Diamond Plus. So every 24 hours, just reset, you print out 4 new tickets, go to any of the bars. You used to be able to use it at Starbucks and other places, but apparently they've changed that. So now starting in 2026, I'll still be Diamond Plus, but it's only for Diamond Elite. So, you know, to get Diamond Plus is 25,000 tier credits. Diamond Elite, I believe, is 75,000 tier credits. So $5 a tier credit, that's a huge jump. And to be honest, the way I was gambling, I had a pretty good run. Getting that 25,000 wasn't that hard, just because of some of the comps I was using, or some of the tricks I was using, like the roulette games, where put $200 or $300 in, and if you're on a 10x, that pretty much translated into 10 or 15,000 tier credits once they applied your 10x to it. So really, you only needed 1 trip to make Diamond, 2 trips to be solidly Diamond Plus. But now they've watered that down. So I think right now MGM is far superior in my mind to Caesars. When you're looking at the way they do everything, you get your statement every month, and it's going to be what hotels you can stay at, how many nights are free. It also includes your free play, and it also includes your food and beverage credit all in one offer. Whereas Caesars, you kind of have to pick and choose. So, like, I think right now at MGM, I can get up to 2 nights comped at Aria, Cosmo, etc. for the others. $25 in free play and $100 food and beverage credit. My food and beverage credit doubles if I go somewhere else like Luxor, etc. But over at Caesars, you can either get 3 nights free plus $50 in free play, or 3 nights free plus $100 in food and beverage credit, or 3 nights free plus, and they sort of divvy these out. So it's all right, but it's been going downhill the last couple of years. I still think Caesars is far superior for a low roller. If you go to your local casino just a couple of times, you're guaranteed. If you're not going on like an F1 or something like that, you can still get some really, really good free rates, especially if you're willing to go during the summer and early springtime. Let's see. Yeah, I try to keep my ears open to what's going on just because I try to get out to Vegas at least twice a year. So I want to know what's going on. I want to know if there's a status match thing going on so that I can exploit it to my, to me. But yeah, I want to share that to you guys because, again, if you love Caesars, don't get me wrong, probably I love Cosmo and Aria. Those are my 2 favorite hotels. But I love Paris probably just as much as Cosmo. I know it sounds weird, but the staff there is amazing. The casino floor is a lot better, I think. Plus, you have an indoor walk over to Horseshoe for your older style games. So you kind of have 2 casinos you can hit. They're relatively large, especially during the winter or summertime. So you're not outside walking from property to property. But you have to be careful with Vegas, especially if you're trying to get some really good comps, because you want to know where should I play at, what comps can I expect. And again, as a reference, my comps from MGM are over, I believe, about 11,000 coin in, because I was focusing most of my play at Caesars. And again, coin in over there is basically 4 to 1. $4 coin in gets you 1 tier credit. If there's an accelerator program going on, it can change a little bit, but that's one. And of course, MGM does have a physical roulette wheel at Luxor that still kind of works. It's great at tier credit grinding, but they don't calculate towards your reward credits. So if you are close to hitting like gold, you can go over to Luxor, and it's over by the main lobby bar. You can't miss it. It's a giant physical roulette wheel. Now, it's still automated, meaning sometimes there is a dealer there, sometimes there's not. But it's you can basically bet red, black, and just keep grinding for tier credits. But they changed it so it no longer applies to your comps. So that's something you want to be careful of. But if you are close to hitting gold or something and you want to put a couple $100s in and just sort of grind out 1,000 tier credits really fast, that is a great way to do it. That's great information. I've only been to Vegas for conferences, gambled too. But I've only stayed at the Golden Nugget, and Caesars never asked for a player's card because I didn't know any better. I'm actually the same way. I didn't really start paying attention to all this until about maybe 4 years ago. The exact same way. Go to Vegas, even the local casino, and just would never play the player's card. Not because I believe the superstitions, just I didn't really see the point in it. I mean, I sit down a machine and I win big, I get that winning. If I lose, I knew I was going to lose anyway, so what's the point? But now it's really good. Like, I gamble a lot at Hollywood Casino, which is owned by their equivalent in Las Vegas is the M Resort, which just opened up a beautiful new East Wing. It looks amazing. So I gamble there, which is good because I think I have 2 nights comped there and $50 in free play. So if I go back, I may spend a night over at the M Resort. It is far, far off the strip. It's about a 15, 20-minute drive from their resort to Mandalay Bay. So it's out there. It's out there in the middle of nowhere. So that might be something I want to check out because I'd like to check out the M Resort. When I do play again, I'd like to play at Red Rock. Again, that's always been on my bucket list to go to. The Orleans is another one. They have a lot of really, really super old games that I want to play in South Point. Those are kind of the main ones I want to get to. I may get to some on this next trip in September. I may not, but those are on my bucket list for sure. But, when I started playing the players card and sort of paying attention, it kind of made sense that this might be something I want to do is sort of track to see. So I try to divvy it up. Sometimes I'll go in an MGM comp, and then I'll let that bucket fill back up with my coin in for more comps, and then I'll go play Caesars for a while. But I think I'm going to maybe switch and start playing a little bit more at Fontainebleau just because I've always wanted to stay there. So, another comment here. Yeah, I'm so sad the Class 3 is replacing electronic games. It's all we have in New York. It's such a exactly. I absolutely agree with that. Some of my favorite nights have been if I'm doing really bad on the slots. I was at Aria last April. Didn't do too bad. Forgot my phone on a machine. It was there forever. Thank God it blended in and no one took it. But went over to the roulette and craps table and didn't win anything, but I didn't lose anything. And I was there like 45 minutes, and it was like a crowd of people. Everyone was cheering each other on. It was a lot of fun. The dealers were amazing to deal with. They were fun. They knew I was new, so they sort of talked to me a little bit about what I should be doing. But another great one downtown is Golden Nugget. Those blackjack tables can get extremely lively, especially on a Saturday and a Friday. They can be a lot of fun. The dealers there are a little bit more laid back, which I like because I sometimes, even though I do play blackjack, I try to play really, really stupid because sometimes they'll tell you some things that you really shouldn't know. So they're fun to deal with a lot. But again, the table games are great. I don't know why I get why Derek Stevens did it. You've got I think roulette's a 4.5%, 5% return or casino hold. The advantage is 4% to the casino. So I think double roulette is 5.5%, 6%, and a 000 roulette, which is stupid, redonkulous, is like 8%. Now, the 000s you can't always see. You want to look before you play it because they don't tell you it's 000. You'll see your 0, 00, and then above it is usually the logo of the casino, and they count that. So look at the wheel. They'll count that logo as another 0. So just be very careful you play that again. They're doing that. I get it. Slots they can set it at about 90 to 92% and leave it. And they won't have to do a thing. They're going to make 10, 12% off you right off the bat. So just be careful with that. But I kind of get why Derek's doing it, especially now with a lot more casino play is sort of driving, whereas the last 3 years, statistically, the driver for the actual huge profits of the casino have been the hotel rooms themselves, the fees it draws, and then dining and entertainment. So those have always been the biggest draws since COVID of the casino. So they kind of leaned into that a little bit much, and now it's flip-flopped, and we're back to where the casino is the largest, slots are the largest. So we may start seeing them do some more freer foods or cheaper foods, because it used to be your food was super cheap because it was their loss leader. They knew they were going to not make a cent and they were going to lose a lot of money on it, but they knew if if you were hungry, you got drunk, you got a good food in, you feel like, okay, I lost $100 in the slots, or I lost 200 playing blackjack, but you know what? I just got a steak and lobster, a buffet that, for $10. Back home that'd be 50 or $60. So, oh well. So we may see more of that, but I don't know. And yeah, they are wild on Golden Nugget. Golden Nugget is one that if you are there on a Thursday night, I would look for it because they periodically on Thursdays and Fridays, I've seen it on Fridays too. They will usually have one table. Usually, all the tables are between $10 and $15. However, every once in a while, even on a busy night on Thursday, Friday, you can still find a blackjack table, and it is $5 to buy in. I saw one at $2. $2 on a Friday night when I was there last January. It was packed, of course, but again, it was 6-5 odds. So you're not playing 3-2 blackjack. So yeah, you kind of lose a little bit, but $2 is still pretty good. But it is what it is. If you do, a lot of the areas are now going back to 3-2. I believe every single casino, but Resorts World and Caesars has 3-2 odds on more than just one table for blackjack. So they are going back a little bit to trying to give gamblers what they're used to or what they expect, which is, yeah, they're, okay, some tables are 6-5 and I'll play on those, but I'll only play on those if the 3-2 are full. So then they just stopped offering 3-2 because people are just like, fuck it, I'll play blackjack anyway. So now they're going back to having at least more than one open at all times. Circus even has two of them. They are $10 minimums, which is so odd for Circus. I would assume to be a $5 minimum, but it's not. But kind of makes sense because the owners are throwing in about $80 million into renovations at Circus. So that kind of makes sense. They want to try and keep some of that. But that's one of the last few strip properties are owned by one person. He owns the land. He owns all the parking over by the convention center. So he's just making money hand over fist. Yeah, I know. But I want to try and structure these lives going forward so I can listen to you guys, hear what you guys are saying. Obviously, give a chance to promote. So everyone who does watch this later, please make sure if you are on YouTube, please check out Beach Bum Slots. Please check out Effin' Up. If you are over on TikTok, follow both of them, as well as Real Jackpot Annie. And again, if you jump in later and you want to sort of put your own channel information in, please do so. My channel is just to kind of make sure, hopefully other people get exposed to your guys' content, and you get a couple of new followers off of it. So pretty good live this week. I thank everybody for jumping in. I think I see a couple more people watching, but they're just not saying anything at the moment, which is fine. But it's nice to go back and forth for a little bit versus watching me talk to a camera for 25 minutes and trying to sort of figure out how I want to say this stuff. So, but yeah, so if you are going to Vegas the next couple of weeks, I would always urge you to please check out the Fontainebleau. They are having their Winterfest right now, so you can go ice skating. If you're staying there, it's free. They have hot chocolate, cookies, and they have a winter movie or a Christmas movie that's playing. I believe it's playing every night but Monday night. Every night but Monday and Sunday, I believe. So I would check the website before you go. Again, that's just from what I remember from last year and from what I kind of heard what was going on a couple weeks ago. But that's a fun one to go to. I have not heard if MGM over Cosmo is redoing their ice rink over at the Cosmo. I believe it's at I'm pretty sure it's the Chelsea pool that does the I think it's the Chelsea pool that does the ice skating. But It's there on the 4-4. So if you do want to do something like that, it's a great way to do it. But you're too. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm trying to. I've been thinking about maybe doing some lives on TikTok. Obviously, they banned my account last month. Finally got enough followers to be able to go live. I like this situation we have here just because I can see the comments a lot easier. I can post your guys' comment up. So if you post your channel link or a link to a news story or something like that, I can pop it up so that everybody can see it. They don't have to necessarily go through the list of everybody that's posted something and try to read what you may have said. So I think you might be able to do something similar on TikTok. I'm not sure. But I'm thinking I might maybe in the first of the year do that. Also, I will make a follow-up video as we get closer to Christmas, but because I'm trying to be as transparent as possible and I do promote, the right way to gamble. You want to be budget-minded, of course. This is entertainment. This is not a way to win money. You will never, ever see me do a video where I have a system on how you're going to win. I did make a system about how you can't lose. That was just a joke about me driving to the casino and then leaving. So it's just sort of it's that old joke. How do you never win? How do you never lose at a casino? You just don't go. But I want to be as transparent as possible. So probably by the second week of January, it's usually when everything gets released. I'm waiting. I will get my win-loss statement from Caesars. And I should have it by the third week of January, my win-loss statement from Hollywood casinos. Usually within a few days after the first of the year, I have my win-loss statement from MGM. So what I'm going to do is I'll make both a TikTok as well as a video here, and I'll actually post the screenshots of my actual year end from all three of those so you guys can see what did I coin in, what did I coin out, how much money did I either win or lose. Spoiler alert, I am down for the year. I knew that was going to happen. But I want to sort of be as transparent. I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually post the amount of videos that I post, the content, and then go, oh, I lost a lot. Here's how much I actually lost, so that people can kind of gauge, I have seen people post, this is what we lost, but here's also my comp. So they try to justify it like, okay, we may have lost $3,000 in gambling this year, but we stayed at Aria and Bellagio, and here's all the free rooms. If you add that up plus my free play, we actually broke even, or we're actually up a little bit. I don't want to do it that way. I could, but I don't want to do it that way because, again, your comps are based off of your play, your theoretical win-loss for that. So you're going to end up getting something, but there's so many outside factors on your actual comps, meaning you'll get better comps if you don't go a lot. You'll get better comps if Vegas is down in general. You'll get better comps if there's a slow convention that quarter. The next quarter, the comps will go up because they realize they're not getting as many convention people in, so they need to entice you back in. So there's a lot of outside factors besides just how long were you in the seat, what did you gamble, and how many times did you push the button. That used to be the way. It's not anymore. So I want to post, hey, here's actually how much money I lost playing the slots at these three major things. I don't think I'll post anything from the win. Again, that's because I only walked in with about $30 and cashed out with like 160. First time I've ever won at the win. So I'm not even going to include that because that's such a misnomer. So I want to make sure that everyone sees, here's the amount of videos this guy puts out. Here's what he's actually winning and what he's actually losing in 2025. So maybe someone who hasn't seen my content before, they'll see that and they'll go, oh, okay, I kind of see what's going on here. Oh, yeah. Thank you. There's another one. We're going to start a revolution of realistic gambling on social media. That would be amazing. I think that would be probably the best thing I could ever think of happening. Is I know there are other channels out there who do something similar. I started watching 2 years ago Cowboy Slots, and don't get me wrong, I've met Brantley before. He's a nice guy. I get what he's doing, but it's very much turned into, from what it used to be, into more of a, I have a low rolling day, and I'll show you how to bet. His low rolling is $2, $3, $4, and then I go high limit, and it's anywhere between $20 to $50 a bet. So I think we do need more channels of people who will say, hey, it's okay to bet $5. It's okay to bet 50 cents. I've seen people win grands on 50, 60, 75-cent bets before. Is it more common to hit it on that versus like a $5 or $10? No, but you can still hit it. And so I think if we do have more people who do have regular content, I know F and Up has some content where they do bet a little bit bigger than me at times, and that's absolutely fine. If you have the budget, do it. But they also have a lot of typical betting limits as well. So, and they've also posted videos before where they've had some amazing wins, and they've also filmed everything. So they're not a channel that does the, here's my big win, and then they cut out that 3-minute session of nothing hitting. They'll show you everything. So I think that's very important to see is, are these channels relatable? Do they give you good information? What does it actually look like to gamble in 2025, 2026? And that way other people can make an educated decision on, is this a game I should play? Is this the budget I should take? What should my expectations? I think that's another big one to do, is re-educate on what's your expectations. What's a big win? And I think that goes back to what I said earlier in the stream was, someone said, hey, no one cares about your 1 cent denom. And I think I kind of beg to differ on that, because we need to re-educate people on what a giant win is. And if you put in 80-cent bet and you're getting $300, $400, $500 back, that's a really big win. I think anything over 200 times your bet, I would treat it like a jackpot, meaning part of that money goes into a lockbox and I'm not playing with it again. I could play with the rest, but I'm not playing with it all again. So if we sort of bring people back down to earth going, because right now, a lot of the other channels, it is jackpot or bust. It is, I have $1,000. I am going to play balls to the wall, and, we're going for a jackpot, baby, or we're going for that major. And you watch them play, and you see at times they're all the way down to $300, $400, and they get a really good bonus that takes them back up to $700, $800, $900, and they go, more ammo. And it's like, okay, I get that too. I've done that too, where I'm only playing with $100, $200, and I'll go, I've got more ammo, but you better believe if I get a really good hit, I'm up $400, $500, $600, $700. I'm done. Part of that money is coming home with me. The rest of it, sure, I can say more ammo, but I have money coming home with me. And I think if we have more people doing that, people will have a little bit more fun and realize what the casino is. And he does this all the time. It's just a giant adult arcade. That's all it is. It's a giant adult arcade where you can, if you're in the right place, you can get free drinks. You can have a lot of fun. But that's all it really is. It'll be my first win-loss statement. So this will be my first win-loss. Does it break down free play too? I recycle a lot of wins. So to answer your question, free play is not included in that. Free play does not calculate on your win-loss. Free play does not calculate in your tier credits as well. So if you go in and you have $300 in free play and you use your free play, you're not earning any tier credits off your free play. Conversely, they will not show your free play as any type of coin in or any type of winnings. It's just a bonus they give you. So you don't have to worry about that. I don't know if Hard Rock does it differently, because that is somewhere I have never really played. but once it was just for a few minutes. So not familiar with their ecosystem, but I can tell you from years past, Golden Nugget has never done that. Caesars has never done that, and MGM has never done that as well. I've never seen them have a line item for free play. What you'll do is you'll get your win-loss statement for the year. I can actually give me a second, guys. I can actually pull this up. I know I can't screen share it, but you can log into my MGM rewards. Sign in. Might take a minute because my old phone broke, so I had to get a new one. It takes a while for the information to port over. Okay, I'm in. So let's go to. So if you go into your, let's just say this is your MGM. It's not going to show you. If you go to your MGM and you get in there, you go to your top there. If you scroll down towards the middle, you'll have a thing for win-loss. In your win-loss, I'll put this here for actually. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. So it goes in by in. So for MGM right now, coin out $7,700, coin in $9,000. Estimated slot win loss negative $840. It's jackpots 0, estimated table win loss 0, and that's all that's listed. So it will not list your free play there. It'll just list it out exactly like that. At the end of the year, if you lost more than you won, that difference between the two you can claim on your taxes. It's up to 100% this year and 90% next year. So if you are someone that enjoys playing and you do go enough to where you are able to, thank God, I should be claiming at least $1,000 of my losses that I can claim on my taxes to get that back. So that is a good question. But yes, so keep an eye on that. That's why I want to sort of show it with you guys. And I'll do a video on it so you guys can see exactly what I won and lost. And just actually saying that out loud, the amount of money I've coined in, even though I knew to expect that, and the amount of money I lost, I was kind of expecting it to be a little less than almost $900 for MGM. I thought I did better, but that's gambling. So I like Las Vegas slots for that reason too. I do. Hey, honey. So yeah, I like it. MGM has always been the more preferred place to play if you want the most up-to-date information, meaning typically within 24 hours of you playing, your win-loss updates. So, if you're someone doing one of those where you're chasing your tier statuses and you need to see how much coin in have I had so that you can figure out, do you think I'm going to make enough to get that extra $5,000 or $10,000 bump? Just check it the next day, and it will show you what your coin in and coin out for is up to that point. You can break it down by the year. You can also break it down by the month, and you can break it down by property too. So you can sort of see what each property did. I like to do that usually on the previous day dissection of here's where I play. Where did I have the most luck, but I wanted to see where was my money going. So, if I was having a lot of fun at Bellagio, but I lost $300 at Bellagio and I still kind of had fun, but I maybe was up a little bit or broke even at Luxor, then I may want to put a little bit more of my play towards Luxor versus chasing it at Bellagio, if that makes any sense. But yes, I will be doing a win-loss statement at the end of the year, so everybody can see what I'm actually losing, what I'm actually winning. And I think I'm going to be doing that year after year just to sort of be a little more transparent because, again, I don't see other creators doing that. And I think it's very important to be as transparent as you can. I think Effing Up is right. We should start some kind of a revolution where people do have a more realistic idea of what it is, because gambling can be amazing. Vegas is my happy place. I look forward to that trip like no other. I usually plan my trips 5-6 months in advance, just because it's the one place I can just relax and have fun. And if I want to go on a 2-day bender there, gambling, not drinking, I can do that. I just love it there. Yeah, I'm curious what this grant is going to do. I set aside money for that. That's a really good question. Yeah, you don't have to answer, but most places, when you do your W-2G, you can actually elect to have taxes taken out. So they should automatically take taxes out, but some places don't. You have to ask to. If you did hit your grant and no taxes were taken out, I would, again, this is not tax advice. I'm not a professional. I think the typical thing is 30% of your winnings. I would always take 30% of my winnings, and that amount I set aside for my taxes just in case I do need to use that. But if I do get a jackpot hand pay, I always ask for them to do the 30% off. It takes a little longer to get your hand pay, but it's out of the way. Now, I would double check again because the states are different too. So I don't know if Florida takes out a state tax too at that point. But yeah, I've never won anything large enough like that to where I would be like, it's a great win, but what am I going to get hit with? So that's something I'm not too on. But that is something I do know. None were taken out. I need to ask them. I said, yeah, I would. That's very, very smart. Because again, that's, just like if you win anything at all, Uncle Sam's going to be coming for it. So, but what I would do is I would absolutely take a look at your win-loss statement too. So in theory, let's say you won $13,000. So your taxes would be around $3,900 that I would expect to pay. Again, federal and state combined, maybe a little more. I don't know how Florida works. But if you've lost $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 in losses, you can use that to offset at a certain percentage. So it may mitigate it to where you really only having to take 22, 25% versus 30 to pay for that. Again, I'm not a tax professional. I've never won more than a couple grand, so I can't even speak nearly as much as you have won on, which was fantastic. So I don't know, but that is something I would absolutely, if you are taking out money to compensate for that, then you're way ahead of the game, because there are so many people who do not do that. They will take that money and they will go, all right, I won on $5. Let's do $50 spins, baby. Let's go for, I won 13,000. I want to win 200,000. So no state taxes. Whew. Okay. You're probably good. Yeah. No state taxes. Yeah. So Ohio, they would probably take out close to 27% for federal and about 4% for state. So that's one. So, and Nevada's a little different. I've always wanted to say, hey, if you're Canadian, no taxes. So that would be beautiful. I know. No thanks. But I mean, it's, in a way, it's kind of a good problem to have. I mean, yeah, I got to pay taxes on it, but I'm still making $9,000 off of this $2-3 bet. Okay. So, well, we've been going here about an hour now, guys. Appreciate everybody stopping in. I love it when we've got a bunch of people asking questions. I will probably be doing another live this same time next Sunday. And then, or no, not, well, we'll see. I'm actually helping to move someone into a facility so they can get going. So maybe next Sunday, maybe not. I'll put out a post on that. The plan is in a couple of weeks on the 28th is to go live actually gambling over at the Jack Casino again. I had a lot of fun last time, but I'll have more updates on that. But as we do get closer to probably the week of Christmas, I will not be doing it leading up into Christmas just because of a lot of the things that I have to take care of. Our work starts to shut down for a couple weeks, so that last week before Christmas is a little hectic, trying to get everything done so that we can all take a couple of weeks off. So I will keep you guys updated. Again, huge thanks to everybody who does tune in. It checks everything out. If you are someone who watches this later, please feel free to check out all these people in the comments. They have both TikToks and YouTubes. They're a great resource to watch. F and Up has some great content. They also have their random slot thought of the day, which is absolutely fucking hilarious. Beach Bum has great content. She plays those Dragon and Lightning links, which are my kryptonite. I think I've only done decent on maybe one game in 20 years of playing those. And then Annie has some great content as well over on TikTok as well. So, again, thank you everybody for stopping in. This was an absolute fun time. Hopefully everybody has a very fun and safe week. If you are anywhere that's getting some snow, please be careful out there. And I will see you guys hopefully next week. I will have something out probably by Wednesday on that, just so that way everyone has a heads up on what's going on. So, again, thank you, everybody. Have a good night, and I will see you guys all very soon. Bye.